So it seems we've got some rumors about a potential Infamous remake. Even some more older PlayStation IPs may be coming back, as it seems that the first party single player game sales have increased for Sony over the last 5 years significantly, and that's because there just hasn't been enough single player games as we had with the PlayStation 4 generation, where it seemed that we got this big Sony blockbuster single player game every quarter, at least 3 times a year. Now, the first rumor was from Red Gaming Tech, who stated this on X/Twitter, that take it with a grain of salt. I've had someone tell me that the Corey game is at state of play and they're less certain of Infamous remake or something Resident Evil related. I focus on HW leaks, so again, take this with a grain of salt. Would be shocked if Infamous does actually make an appearance. And as we know, at the state of play there wasn't anything Resident Evil related or Infamous related. However, because Red Gaming Tech had heard something about Infamous, and we recently got an article from Insider Gaming that PlayStation wants to revive older IPs, perhaps there were some rumblings about potentially teasing an Infamous remake the same way that they did with the God of War trilogy, not saying that it's coming anytime soon, but something Infamous related, or a tease that Infamous is being worked on in the background. Then we had VGC's Jordan Midler, who hinted at a return from Ape Escape and other older Sony IPs in the VGC podcast. Now, Jordan Midler is a journalist from VGC, and this is what he said at the podcast. They need to get that little ape back. Little Ape and the rest of the little apes, it can't just be one ape because it's a boring game if you were collecting one ape. But I was talking about this with Chris. Chris brought up Wipeout. I'd love a new Wipeout, man. That Wipeout Omega they did on PS4. What a game, man. A new Wipeout game would be great. I assume they will be doing another Ghost of game, but there is a groundswell of people that want Infamous. I'm under the impression that there is an Infamous thing happening somewhere else in PlayStation at the minute, not tied to them, and I think he's referring to Sucker Punch, who does the Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei games, as I'm sure Sony would like them to develop another Ghost of game. Perhaps another PlayStation studio could be working on Infamous. Then Kinda Funny's Greg Miller asked Jordan Midler to elaborate on his Infamous scoop, in which he said, based on what he was informed, it is believed that the project will be a remake of the first 2 Infamous titles for PS5. That wasn't told to me directly, but that was very much implied, he said. He also added that there was a chance it could have been scrapped. Sucker Punch Productions will not be involved in the project isn't surprising, seeing as how they have been busy with Ghost of Yotei over the past few years. Also from PSU.com, last July, the studio's creative director Nate Fox said he would love to work on more Infamous games, including seeing the original games get re-released. It wasn't possible at the time as Sucker Punch is a one-game studio. Right now, it's unknown what its next project will be. The Infamous franchise launched for PS3 back in 2009, plucking inspiration from comic books and superhero franchises. Then Sucker Punch was acquired by Sony Interactive Entertainment following the release of the second game. And this would be a very good move for Sony, especially under the current climate of superhero games. Spider-Man is such a very successful franchise, and the Wolverine game will also likely be a hit. But bringing Infamous back into the fold will allow another Sony exclusive, maybe a little more R-rated superhero games, which they can expand in any direction they want, and even have a lot more creativity with expanding different genres for the Infamous franchise. Smaller games, bigger open world games, linear games. The more original franchises for Sony, the better. Especially when we look at this Insider Gaming article, which states that PlayStation is exploring the revival of older IPs, which could include, of course, Infamous, Killzone, Resistance, and so much more. The article reads, a new claim states that PlayStation might be looking to bring back some of its older IPs. It seems quite a few changes are brewing within PlayStation, and Xbox have begun its rebrand under the new CEO. Old PlayStation IPs could be returning. There was a rumor circulating that PlayStation was working on bringing back Infamous. No one has been able to verify it. However, reliable insider Nate the Hate has stated on X that there is truth to Sony exploring and considering reviving some of the older IPs, especially the unused IPs. Which IPs exactly could be in the play are not known, but players have already begun listing their preferences in the comment section. There are a variety of IPs that Sony could revive, bringing an influx of nostalgic fans to these games. Some of these most talked about franchises are Sly Cooper, Infamous, Ape Escape, Jak and Daxter, and much more. None of these franchises have received a game in the past decade. The most recent would be Infamous, with Infamous Second Son and the First Life spin-off in 2014 for the PS4. The oldest one would be Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier, which was released for the PS2 and PSP in 2009. So it does very much seem that this is just being talked about right now in PlayStation, and is the reason we never saw Infamous at at the state of play because it's just way too early. If any of these games, and I hope all of them are, greenlit in some way, it's likely that it's going to be for the PlayStation 6 or even late into that cycle. We know that they're already remaking the original God of War trilogy. There's been a lot of teases that something Sly Cooper may also have been greenlit recently, and Infamous would just make a lot of sense, especially because it's a superhero open world game, and having it not be a Marvel game gives Sony and the creative teams a lot more freedom since it's their own IP. And now with the brand new Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma, she's currently rebranding Xbox, and if she makes the right plays, she may allow other Xbox game studios to make Elder Scrolls games, Fallout games, brand new IPs, and so much more. We know that the PlayStation 5 generation and even the Xbox Series generation hasn't been all that great when it comes to exclusive games on that platform. With the vast cancellations of different live service games, especially for the PS5 generation, it seems that both Sony and Xbox are gearing up for a battle in the next Xbox and PlayStation 6 generation, and this would be a great move from Sony to bring back older franchises into the modern day with remasters and remakes, and also continuing the franchises forward as they don't have to make big sprawling open worlds with games like Jak and Daxter, Ape Escape, Killzone, Resistance. It can be smaller linear titles of great quality that can supplement Sony's single player first party releases over the PS6 generation. Let me know what you guys think. It does seem that Infamous is being heavily talked about over at PlayStation. Hopefully we get more rumors on the Infamous remakes and other IPs like Jak and Daxter, and as soon as we do, I will update you on this channel. We'll also talk about upcoming single player games from PlayStation and Xbox like the Elder Scrolls, Fallout games, Cyberpunk, Witcher, Marvel Spider-Man, and so much more. So go ahead and subscribe and like the video so it's recommended to more people. Please comment down below if you're excited for Infamous Remake and what do you want to see from the Infamous franchise. And guys, it is finally here. The Balboa Club Witch Hunt Collection Volume 1 is now available and will run from December through February, and this drop is specifically inspired by The Witcher, as I wanted to blend the styles of the wrestling world with the games we all know and love. So please go ahead and check out the Balboa Club store. It's on the channel store page, and the website is in the description and pinned comment section below.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement.